Alrighty, we are back for another stream. Welcome. It is the Nets taking on the Knicks. I have no idea what the starting lineup is for the Knicks. Actually, I do. It's just come up now. It is what would be their best starting lineup, their most dominant lineup, the lineup that's taken up most of their season and most of their minutes. The Nets running a five of D'Angelo Russell, Keon Johnson back into the starting lineup today, potentially for roster balance. Claxton at the 5, Clowney at the 4, and Cam Johnson at the 3. I assume Johnson is playing to potentially quell the influence of Jalen Brunson. Sort of interesting that we've run with a little bit of a smaller lineup, given the Knicks have a lot more size in comparison to us. I mean, their lineup is significantly more physical than ours. I mean, Claxton and Clowney are twigs, even though they are the Twin Towers. Meanwhile, on their end, they've got Cat, they've got Hart, they've got Anunoby. And Brunson isn't, slim built by any means. He is also built like a brick shithouse. So this is going to be a tough game today. We are at game 44. The Nets are 14-29. Those losses are piling up, and teams below us are winning more games. Charlotte have won their last 2. The Pelicans have won a couple in a row because they've played the Utah Jazz a couple of matches in a row. And Portland have had a mixed bag of results, but they did win their last game against Chicago, so they are above us again. And as I mentioned probably 30 seconds ago, the Hornets have actually won 3 in a row. They've actually won 4 of their last 5 as well, so they are slowly gaining on teams that are ahead of them, such as us. So they are definitely in a much better place. And the Jazz are just gifting free wins to these teams that are in the very low portion of the NBA. I mean, the Pelicans have won 5 of their last 6 games. They're 12-32 now. They're only a couple games back from us, which is going to make it very, very interesting to see how quickly it takes before we dip a few more places in the league standings. Right now, as it currently stands, the Nets are... Let's have a look. The Nets have the 6th worst record. The Blazers just above them. The Hornets are now only a game back from us, and we play them at the end of the week. So that could have us dip a little bit further. The Pelicans a little bit further back at 2.5 games, and the Jazz 3 games back. But that makes the 3 seed a lot more accessible than it probably would have originally been maybe a couple of weeks ago when everyone was panicking, and I wasn't really in that party because there's still 40 games left, and we're 3 games back from having the 3rd best odds of the number 1 pick. The Nets have not won a game without Cam Johnson, so he's a pretty big player in the way this game transpires. I mean, to be fair, though, I don't think we have a real chance. The Knicks have a significantly better squad. If they lose this game, it is an embarrassment, and I don't think their fan base will be particularly happy. It is like I'm watching the Yes broadcast, because we've got Iron Eagle on the call for this Nets-Knicks matchup, the New York rivalry. I'm not even sure if D'Lo's played a home game yet, because he played basically the entirety of the road trip. Let's see if Mikal didn't get a return video. Thank God for that. I'm pretty certain he didn't. Well, quarter time, there's a very real possibility. Bridges v Johnson at the jump ball. It'll be Cat and Claxton going at it. And Claxton wins it as Cat didn't even go up. So the Nets-Knicks matchup underway. Russell, those kicks go hard. The black and white kicks with these uniforms. It looks pretty good. Looks like Johnson's getting guarded by Anunoby. And Clowney's cutting to the rim and he's not even looking. And that is a turnover. The amount of times Clowney's done that this season, where he cuts through the lane and doesn't actually read the play, it's just happening a little bit too regularly for my liking. Brunson gets completely rid of Keon Johnson, and that too goes down off the window. So 2-0 start for the Knicks. They are on the board, and the Nets will get into a set through Johnson, who tries the reverse, but Cat met him at the rim. And Brunson will look to give the Knicks a nice early start. He takes it downhill. Bridges had it knocked away. How on earth is that not our ball? It lingered in Bridges' hands for an eternity, and they still... to be honest, it probably... the replay changes my viewpoint. Russell gets the rebound after the Knicks miss. Johnson gets ahead of the pack and scores off glass for 2. He was able to lose Anunoby in transition. Those early opportunities, early clock opportunities are going to be key. Bridges in the corner, kicks it out to Cat, and Bridges will get it back. An extra for Anunoby. Good defense by Clowney. And now Josh Hart will back down Russell on an island. No, he won't. He'll kick it out to Anunoby for 3. And that is good. So Knicks get their first 3-pointer of the game. Anunoby is going to be pretty key in their performance. Whenever he doesn't deliver, then they're usually shit. Claxton takes a dribble, shoots off the window. I don't know how he's not been able to score over Brunson, who's giving up a significant amount of size. Anunoby. Cross. Knock away by Johnson. The kick out to Hart. Now Towns. Anunoby's going to go baseline again and try the same method. And there is a foul on the drive. So it will be side out for the Knicks. 2 minutes gone here in this opening quarter. 5-2. Knicks lead. The Nets, of course, the other day gave up 34 of the first 41 points to trail by 27 at one stage in the first quarter. Brunson 3. That's pure. And the Knicks have a couple threes. That is the difference in the game so far. The Nets only the 1 bucket made. Clowney looking for the handoff. 1-2 with Claxton. That's an air ball. Are we taking the piss, Noah? So I think there would have been a significant discussion pre-game to ensure that they don't get into the same rut as they did last time out. That's a good lob, and Cat is discovered on that lob. Josh Hart with the feed. That's a good find. And it's 10-2 Knicks. I just beg we don't get into this shit start again. Johnson's given a lot of space, has time to line it up, and you know he's too reliable to miss those. And Johnson has the first 5 for Brooklyn 3 minutes into this game. Knicks are 4 of 6 from the field. Towns guarded by Claxton. They're going to look for Bridges under the basket, who is doubled and also pushed. And apparently there's a foul. I think that was pretty phantom. It's more because Bridges is in the featherweight division, and he was easily knocked off his feet. It will be Knicks ball on the side with a 10-5 start. So they've had a pleasant start to this game. Bridges will get it off the inbounds and uses the Towns screen, who pops to the perimeter and is short on the 3-pointer, so he's missed his first couple shots. Russell, going to get into offense early, moves through, good kick out. Johnson's ready to shoot again. It's off. And the rebound by Towns. Brunson will be the first man into the front court for the Knicks. Johnson tries to get a steal. Brunson turns around for the step back 2, and it sits on the rim, but it's off. And Russell will push. Defense unset for the Knicks. Clowney is a 3, and he's airballed 2 in one game, and we're not even 4 minutes into the match. Bridges, early offense is good. Another 3. And the Knicks have 3 of those in the match. Knicks have made more 3s than the Nets. The Nets have the same amount of misses as or regular misses as they do air balls from the outside. Russell's 2 is misdirected, and the Knicks are going to try go early again. It's Hart. Brunson has another open 3, and that one is badly off, but no one's boxing out. Anunoby scores a 2. Timeout, Nets. And that is just that's a shocking bit of rebounding work by the Nets there. I mean, you have multiple players under the basket caught napping, and it's just an easy 2 there at the rim. So Nets are not off to the greatest start, which I don't think is remotely surprising. Let me just have a look at the box score, and we will see that, why does it say, okay, I thought D'Lo had points to his name. Johnson is the only man to score for the Nets. We are 2 of 8 from the floor. 2 of 3 is Cam Johnson. So every other net has not scored but put up a shot. And for the Knicks, I mean, 3 of their players have already hit a 3-pointer. And Karl Anthony Towns is going to have a big game with the rebounds if the Nets shoot as poorly as they have started. So right now, it's not looking too optimistic. Brunson with the 5, Anunoby with the 5, and both of those guys have scored with relatively easy methods of scoring. I don't think we've been nearly physical enough, but we don't have the players out there, I think, to really rectify that problem. They are 6 of 11 from the floor thus far, and they are out-rebounding us by 3 already, so I think that heavily correlates with the amount of misses we've had so far compared to New York. That's always going to be a bit of a problem, especially when we play these really physically built oppositions. Rebounding's usually a problem. Alrighty. Oh, I forgot to change Claxton's stat line, which I don't imagine I'm going to need to do too much today because he's usually pretty irrelevant in these fixtures, which proves to be incredibly frustrating because, you know, we know he's better than that, but usually just doesn't rock up. Alrighty. So, interesting start, 15-5. 4.5 minutes elapsed in this opening quarter. Okay. Alrighty. So the Nets doing a professional tank job at the moment. So far from this start, though, I just think the transition threes have been way too easy. It feels like the fast break points are coming a little bit too easily. Really haven't had to work for them. And it helps when the Nets are missing a ton of shots. I mean, Nets transition defense usually isn't great. D'Lo's changed his shoes. We've had 4.5 minutes run. Just so strange. Attack Mikal. He's garbage. D'Lo moves through. That's shocking defending. And Russell scores the very aesthetically pleasing layup. So the Nets 15-7 down. But right there, what a surprise. Mikal getting cooked on a pick and roll, which we saw way too much of last year. Wilson is into the game early for Keon Johnson. A regular substitution Good defense by the Nets here out the break. Anunoby takes it in, and it was a shot clock violation. Or it went out of bounds, one or the other. You can take your pick. The Nets will have the ball, though, at the 6:51 mark of the first. And D'Lo will be guarded by Bridges. You've got to attack this matchup. Got to attack it. Mikal doesn't know how to play pick and roll defense. Come on. D'Lo picks up his dribble. Out to Johnson. Johnson drive on Mikal, and that's better defense by Mikal. Turnover. And Brunson will look to capitalize off this error. Towns lobs it in for Anunoby. Kick out to Bridges. Corner three is off. Wilson the rebound. The Nets will run here and look to get some transition points. Johnson behind the back. Step back two is off. It hits the heel. The rebound by Hart. He'll get it ahead to Bridges, who pulls up for another three. And that one is short. The board by Wilson. We've hit the halfway point of the first quarter. And the Knicks have missed their last three shots from the outside. Claxton body bump. Layup is good. And Towns took a hit. And he looks a little bit worse for wear. But the Nets, since that timeout was called a couple of minutes ago, have scored a couple of buckets unanswered. So the lead back down to 6. Wilson is guarding Brunson on the outside. Blitz. Bridges in the corner. The drive in. Somehow shovels it out to Anunoby. That three is short, but the board by Josh Hart. Right place, right time. Bridges. 1-2. Layup. And he lost D'Angelo Russell there. So good playmaking. Shot creation by Bridges. Russell gets inside, picks up his dribble, pump fake, layup, and the foul. And he gets it to go. He'll head to the free throw line to shoot another free throw. I say another, but this will be the first free throw between both teams in this match. It's been a pretty free-flowing contest so far. Russell with the scoop. Nice little pivot to get inside and have Bridges reaching over. D'Lo's averaged 13 and 8 with the Nets in a handful of games so far. D'Lo at the line will convert that free throw. Day'Ron Sharpe is into the game, meaning Claxton heads to the bench. And the Knicks, well, they have brought in Miles McBride and Precious Achiuwa. Brunson, what the hell is that? That has to be an offensive foul. Russell got completely discarded by Achiuwa, and one official just didn't even give a shit that had occurred. Meanwhile, the referee on the sideline was able to pick that one up. So the Knicks have conceded a 7-2 run, and the Nets have an opportunity to expand on that. Tyrese Martin's into the game now for the Nets. Sharpe. Cam Johnson. Wilson. Good extra pass to Martin. It's an open look. 2 defenders were attracted, and the Nets have cut the lead to 2 after they trailed by 10 early in the game. Good resilience by the Nets. Here's McBride, guarded by Johnson, and now Brunson, guarded by Wilson, will use that screen by Achiuwa. But doesn't look to be overly aggressive. Goes one-on-one with Wilson, gets inside, blocked by Sharpe, and the rebound. And he's going to bring it up himself, which I don't like the look of, but he hands it over to Wilson, who's a little bit more reliable. With ball in hand, here's Clowney, who will go down the middle. Held up, Martin, Wilson, passing around the perimeter for the Nets. Sharpe lost the handle. We've got 4 to shoot, so they're going to look for Johnson, who needs to make something happen. Falling away on the baseline, it hits the back of the iron. Rebound by Hart, who's going to go himself, and then sees the trailer, which is Anunoby. It was a wild layup and good verticality by Sharpe. Wilson will get it to Martin, who got him behind, and it's a goaltend, and the game is tied at 17 after the Knicks were up 15-5. That timeout has worked wonders for the Nets. Getting stop after stop now. And that's what you like to see. So 17 all. 3.5 to play here in this first quarter. Brunson remains in. Bridges on the bench with Towns. Hart, bounce pass into Achua. Good verticality by Clowney, but Achua still able to muscle his way through and score over the top. So 19-17, Knicks with the lead back. The Nets have not led at any stage today so far. Martin gets inside. Good dump off to Sharp. He was blocked by McBride. I don't really know how that's occurred because he's a 6'2 guard. McBride out to Anunoby, who drives in, but the Nets stay home and don't allow the drive. Hart's going to shoot a 3. One and done for the Knicks. And Martin will get the board and hand it to Wilson, who will drive on Brunson. Great cross. Good kick out. Clowney's open in the corner. It's a practice shot. And the Nets have the lead. 20-19. With 2.5 minutes to play here in this first quarter. The Nets on a 15-4 run in the last 5 minutes. The Knicks have gone cold after a good early start. Brunson in a switch. Double. Hart fumbled the initial dribble, but the Knicks still retain. Hart somehow got an open 3, and that is going to be cash money. I thought the Nets had closed down all avenues to score there, but they left one loose end, and the Knicks were able to capitalize. Here's Johnson. Gets inside. That's got to be a foul. Thank you. It was getting hacked all the way. Brunson would have had that called in 2005. And the reason I say that is because it would have happened centuries ago, decades ago. But we've got a timeout. And the Nets will get 2 free throws here at the line. So right now, it's actually a very good first quarter by the Nets. All things considered, the Nets have... Oh, sorry, should I say the Knicks have slowed things up on their end. Now, the last time we looked, they were 6 of 11 from the field. If we look now, they are 9 of 21. And they've only made 1 3-pointer since the last time we checked. So the percentages, the efficiency has gone downhill. The Nets, on the other hand, have hit 3 threes on 50%. And they're also shooting the ball at a tick under 50% shooting, which is now better than what the Knicks are doing. So, look, Hart could have a triple-double by halftime the way he's going, already the 4 times and the 5 rebounds. But on the Nets end, I mean, we've got a number of players with 5 points. We've hit a couple of 3-pointers, which you love to see. And the stops are coming into play now. I mean, Anunoby and Brunson, 2 of 5 each from the floor. But we've forced them into a couple of difficult shots. And, I mean, Brunson, Anunoby, and Hart have already played 10 minutes each. Look, they're very well trained. They know, like, they've played 40 minutes time and time again. So it's not like they're really that phased by playing 40 minutes. But it probably is going to trend in that direction, I would imagine, right? So, scoreline right now, 22-20. The Nets were down 15-5 early in the contest, but they've been able to, on the back of some defense, reel it back in. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this start, all things considered. You know, we've still got a number of players out. But the offense looks to be flowing. We're getting quite a few open shots. I haven't really... Look, usually the Knicks bully us, but right now I'm not seeing that sort of destruction occurring at the moment. Maybe in the start of the game, but that was more from a transition 3 perspective. They've had a couple of offensive rebounds, but I don't think they've really put us to the sword as much as I would have anticipated heading into the match. So, pretty... good start, I would say. So, 22-20, the first time out for the Knicks called. Campaigns into the game. He had an explosive match, or second quarter, a couple of games ago. That single-handedly kept them in the contest. I think he scored like 18 in a quarter on national TV. So, definitely a little bit, well, difficult to anticipate, I would have thought. The Nets are playing small ball. No Sharp and no Claxton. They're playing Tosin at the 5. Keon Johnson's back in, so we've got Johnson squared. We've got Tosin, we've got Jalen Wilson, and we've got Tyrese Martin on the floor. Correction, Sharp is on the floor, and I apparently couldn't count. So Johnson at the line getting 2 free throws. He's made the first. The second would tie the game at 22. And Johnson is good on both. So 2 minutes to play here in this opening period. 22 apiece. McBride in the game, and he is slashed. Cam Johnson will sit down. And Keon Johnson will check in. That's good minutes by Cam Johnson. He's got 7 in the game so far. $22 apiece. McBride goes downhill. Oh my goodness. Tosin with the block. McBride nearly put him on a poster. Martin. Good find to Tosin, who fumbled it. Wilson. Bounce pass out to Johnson. We've got 8 to shoot. This always happens. Johnson drives in. Is fouled. And one! He wasn't even looking at the hoop, and he's somehow gotten that in off the banker. And the Nets lead by 2. And an opportunity to get out to their largest lead. McBride with the personal. So after the Knicks' hot start, they have limped to 22 points. Johnson's free throw rims out, and the board by Achua. Payne fakes the pass out. Drive in. It's going to be a foul. I believe the Knicks are in the bonus, so it will be 2 shots. Payne took a hit, and it was Dayron Sharp who committed the foul. So 2 shots here for Cam Payne. Pretty easy looks here for him. So 1:13 to play here in this first quarter. Damn, Cam Payne is shooting the ball 43% from deep. Payne at the line makes number 1. Shamet's in the game, a former Net, of course. So the Knicks of Payne, Shamet, McBride, Towns, and Achua. The Nets have got Sharp, Wilson, Tosin, Martin, and Keon Johnson. So this is the ultimate tanking lineup. 24 apiece, though. A minute to play here in this first quarter. Wilson on the outside, guarded by Payne. Pick will be set. Sharp to Johnson. Steps back for 3. He's got a lot of room. It's off. Sharp gets the board, and he was fouled on the arm. Towns commits it. And it's going to be free throws. The Nets in the bonus, so Sharp will head over there. He's been a good free throw shooter this year. I think that's a stat that I need to check at any stoppage in play, because he has been really good from the line, and I've probably just cursed him. He's going to miss 2 free throws. Let's have a look. Number 1 is good, so overcomes the curse there. $25-24 the scoreline. Nets with 1 free throw here to come. And Dayron converts. 26-24 inside the final minute of the first period here. McBride on the outside. That screen will be set by Towns. Extra, why are we leaving Payne so open? It's off, though. We get a little reprieve. Tosin with the rebound. Nets can get a little bit of breathing space. Lob up to Dayron. Takes a dribble, and then he fumbled it off his own boot. He's just clumsy like that. Payne. Well done by Dayron Sharp. Well done by Dayron Sharp. He was able to fumble the handle of Payne. Had him in a little bit of a muddle. And then he stood on the sideline and ran out of tarmac. So the Nets will get another opportunity to get this lead back up. They can use up the entirety of the clock, basically. It's a 1 second difference between shot and game, roundabout. So the Nets just need to use the entirety of the clock and try find the best shot available, get that balance. Johnson will hold, 6 to shoot. He drives in on Shamet. Extra, one more. Martin 3. It's off. And the board by Tosin. And there was no foul on the rebound. And Geordie wanted it because he's gone in pursuit of the ref at the quarter-time break. The Nets lead at quarter-time over the New York Knicks, 26 to 24. They trailed early, 15 to 5, but since that point have gone on a 21 to 9 extended run. So they are in a good place at quarter-time, much better than they have been in previous meetings and previous matches, should I say, as well. It's been a good start for a number of key players for the Nets. Johnson with the 7, Russell with the 5. He's been at the line and scored with efficiency. And Tyrese Martin with 5 points as well has been a welcomed sight. Sharp with some good defensive efforts and offensive rebounding. And for the Knicks, I mean, outside of their starters, they really haven't gotten too much. Karl Anthony Towns hasn't gotten into it yet for them. No player with more than 5 for New York. The Nets shooting 9 of 20. They are getting free throws and they're doing a good job of looking after the basketball as well, which always helps. So really, that's why they've got the lead right now. Good efficiency or better efficiency, getting to the free throw line and looking after the basketball. That is something, well, those are things that they have not really done enough in recent games. How come I can't find the Yes Network broadcast? It's because it's a nationally televised game. Any early foul troubles? I don't believe so. We've been bad the last 3 first quarters. I'm surprised we're in a close game with this impressive Knicks team. Well, I am a little bit surprised because I thought that, well, it was going to get out of hand a little bit early on. But we've done pretty well to keep them at bay, I think. Because, yeah, really, that start wasn't too great. And I thought we were going to head down the road of what happened last game. We were down 34 to 7 at one stage. And at that point, you're like, well, what the hell is this? I mean, do I have to watch this game? But we've definitely showed up, which is always a reason for optimism. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets versus Suns tomorrow. Who actually made a trade which probably sets themselves up a nice little foundation for that Jimmy Butler trade, which has definitely been in the rumor mill for quite some time now. So 26-24. Nets up by 2. Their largest lead. All right. The Knicks have won 8 in a row, which is a little bit frustrating. All right. I think this is almost the only nationally televised game we've had all season. 8 front court assists in the first quarter. What does that even mean? Oh, I think it just means like their bigs have been getting involved more. Cat's got 3 dimes. Josh Hart's got 4. Towns in the game right now. The only starter. What the hell is that defending, bro? We've missed it though. And then no fucking surprises. Claxton's positioning is completely off. Absolute rubbish. Forced the miss and weren't able to reel in the rebound, which we were pretty good at for the most part in the first quarter. Martin will get into the paint. Oh my God, where is he going? Oh, this is a shocking start defensively. McBride hits a 3. I'd almost call a timeout there and then because this start has been awful. The defense off the rip has been shit. Wilson, down the middle. got rid of Payne, and he's going to get hit with an offensive foul. So I think if we concede another bucket up this end, the way, in the same fashion that we have the first two possessions, then I think we've got to call a timeout. It's a bit of a ropey pass here to Towns, defended by Claxton on the outside. McBride, drive on Johnson, kick out to Achua, who's not afraid to shoot, and there's a reason for that. He's hit another three-pointer. So the Knicks start out the gate very nicely here in this second quarter. They hit 3 threes early in the first, and they've hit a couple early in the second. Johnson. Gonna drive. That's good defense by McBride. Johnson gets the angle. That's impressive. And that's a reason he's played so well this season. A career high in points. Payne. Across to Shamet. Now McBride in the corner, guarded by Martin. The switch. One-on-one. Good defense by Cam Johnson. Shamet. Good change of direction. The kick out. Achua's open again. That one's off. Board by Martin, and falling out of bounds is able to keep it alive and hand it to Johnson. 4-point lead for the Knicks. Drive in by Johnson. Picks up his dribble. Looking for Claxton as the relief. Who's gonna... Oh, for fuck's sake, bro. Are you fucking kidding me? Work your feet out. Seriously. Traveling, like, completely unpressured. Oh, Jesus Christ. So that's turnover number 6. Payne. Beautiful jam by Achua upstairs. So 6-point lead for the Knicks. They've started the clear better team here. Wilson on the outside. Gets inside. That's got to be a foul. Where's the whistle? Martin lost the ball. There's a foul. And it's on Payne. But there should have been a foul earlier in that. So, 34-28. 3 or so minutes gone here in this second quarter. So, Wilson, Claxton, Cam Johnson, Martin, and Tosin on the floor for the Nets. The Knicks have got Towns, Shamet, Payne, Achua, and McBride. Johnson's got an open 3. That is a beautiful look. But we don't get the reward for a great set play. It was well done. McBride stops, toe on the line, hits the 2. And there's a timeout. Unsurprisingly, 12-2 run for the Knicks here with this bench unit. The Nets have started like crap. It's no coincidence that Claxton walks out there and they're shit again. Like, Claxton, I don't know what his plus minus is, but it has been garbage. He's a negative 15 in a game we're down 8. Like, brother, sort your shit out. Dayron's a plus 7. It's actually embarrassing, bro. Like, it does my head in. Achua is their highest scorer. Towns is a plus 13. I can bet you any money Claxton's been out there for nearly every single one of those minutes. It's just dog shit, man. This is a player that we've signed for $25 million a season. He's gotten the bag and he's just turned to complete shit. So frustrating. Just can't work it out, man. Okay. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like and subscribe on the stream if you are new. We'll be back tomorrow for Nets Suns, which should be a very interesting game because we do no longer have their picks. But at this point, it's just like out of it's more just to make like ourselves feel better. Like to see them winning games because we traded away their picks and them being shit is what we missed out on, or will result in what we miss out on. Disappointing start to the second, though. I mean, we've allowed 12 points to 2. We've looked like we've gone back a couple notches in terms of intensity. Claxton basically exudes lack of effort at the moment. He just looks so nonchalant out there. I mean, granted, that's probably been his demeanor always, but it's just incredibly frustrating. Alrighty. Okay. So play resumes 36-28. Nets have it. D'Lo's back into the game. Johnson steps back for 2. That one rattles out. Claxton was fouled, slashed on the arm by Shamet. All right, Bridges is back in. Okay. So play resumes again. Russell. That is a tough 3. He's hit over the top of Karl Anthony Towns, who was right in the grill. Towns, tough catch, puts one up, and off balance is able to score. It's a bit of a chuck up. Johnson, D'Lo. Good skip pass. Tosin drives in on Shamet. He's got the size, but he doesn't have the poise, and he misses short on that jumper. And the rebound by Hart. Towns will take it inside. Again, bully ball. How on earth has he scored that? I don't really know how that's a foul, though. Let me just have a look. I want to watch that back. What the fuck is that? Okay, no, that was the one that wasn't called. Yeah, okay, never mind. I was blindsided. The broadcast does not show that angle. That is a foul. Okay. And Towns converts that free throw. So Knicks have definitely asserted their dominance early in this second quarter. They've already scored 17 points and we're not even 5 minutes into the second. So that tells you all you need to know. This is a very similar start to how things went in the first quarter. Russell off one leg. That's a shocking miss. Sharp was fouled by Towns, and we've got more free throws here ready to go. Alrighty. So free throw made there by Sharp, who was fouled on that putback rebound attempt. Sharp makes both. So he's converted all 4 of his free throws, which is something that one of our other centers can't do. Cough, cough, Claxton. 8-point lead for the Knicks. Brunson back in. Doubled. Bridges 3. Splash. Pretty good in the corners. $11-point lead now for the Knicks. They are 8 of 10 from the field in the quarter. Oh my God. The minute that pass got let off, you just knew that Dayron had put butter on his fingers. Oh my goodness. That was nearly the most ridiculous play I've seen from Mikal. Beautiful transition dunk by the Nets. That went from nearly being a highlight on one end by Bridges to being a highlight on the other for the Nets. Beautiful navigation of the fast break opportunity by D'Lo. Towns fumbled the lob out of play, and the Nets will have an opportunity to build upon the momentum from the previous play. That is an incredible take by Mikal. Dayron made sure, though, that was... Well, Mikal was going to be denied the right to being number 1 on Sports Center. Russell picks up his dribble, lobs it out to Tosin. 3 is off, and a rebound by Brunson. Sharp was in good position, but wasn't able to reel it in. Brunson going to drive on Wilson. Body bump. Josh Hart's open. He tries the extra to Anunoby. Good rollover. What? Thought Wilson went up vertically and legally, but unfortunately the officials thought otherwise, and so free throws for Anunoby here on that drive, or after that drive. First one good. 10-point game. Alrighty. I'll give the Nets this. They have shown plenty of fight. It's not a... Like... I feel like the second quarter we've fallen off a little bit. Already conceded the 22 points and we're halfway through the quarter. But, look, that aside from the hot shooting, I think we've done a pretty good job, all things considered. Russell, where was the foul there? They didn't call it. Bridges going to drive. There's the foul, and he blew the runner. It'll be more free throws for Mikal, but feel like that was a frustration foul for D'Lo. I think he's a little bit mystified by the fact that he wasn't given the call on the 3-point shot there. So Bridges at the line. Mikal makes the first. So Bridges at the line for one more. And that one rims in. So 48-35. Little over, or little under 6 minutes left in this first half. Bridges has got 10. He's in double figures now. Russell, fouled by Towns. And I think that's his third personal. Which means that we're going to need to see probably a few minutes from their bench center, which is a chewer. I need to double check this. How many fouls is he on? Is that the third or the second personal for Towns? He's only got one personal. I thought he was in a little bit more foul trouble than that. But the Nets make the first free throw. Lead back down to a dozen. I think Zaire Williams is out tonight because I feel like it would have been a lock to start. 48-37. Zaire would have been a handy player to have. D'Lo's got 10 as well. I think he's the first net in double figures. Brunson weaves through. There's an open look. As a result, it's off. Russell gets the long rebound. Gets it ahead. That's a good find. Wilson the layup. Yes. And D'Lo's really helping us in transition. Josh Hart out to Towns. That's an early look. Goodness me, an air ball. And the Nets want to move quick. That's a shocking 3 by Towns. And on that note, he's going to head to the bench and get a breather here. Achua comes in. 5 and a bit minutes to play. The Nets have been outscored by 13 in the quarter. Opportunity to get it, well, down to 7, and there it is. D'Lo with a brilliant find. Sharp, the man completing the lob. So 7-point game now. Brunson for the Knicks to Josh Hart. Cutter is Achua. It opened up Anunoby in the corner. Good verticality. Anunoby can't get it to go. Good tap by Clowney. The Nets can push again. Wilson, 3. It is off. Sharp gets the rebound. Puts one up. Gets it to go. Strength. And there's a timeout for the Knicks. The Nets have scored 8 in a row. Day'Ron Sharpe has led the way alongside D'Angelo Russell. And it is game on. 5-point match. He got Towns sent to the bench and then bullied the much smaller big. So the Nets are competing. They're doing a good job. They have been outscored, but they've yet again, like the first quarter, been able to reel things back a little bit in the latter portion of the first half, or the quarter, should I say. And they're in a good place. Day'Ron's got 8. He is the 3rd best scorer for the Nets. Cam Johnson with 9. D'Angelo in the second quarter has started to motor, and he is the first net in double figures, shooting 3 of 6. And he also has the 5 dimes as well. So he's getting involved in multiple ways. The turnovers have probably been a little bit out of hand, and the starters have been absolutely cooked for most of it. But Day'Ron Sharpe, when he is on the floor, the Nets look a different outfit altogether. Claxton is just not doing it for me. I would bench Claxton and start Sharpe. I don't care about the spacing. Sharpe is objectively the better big now. The Knicks are, well, they're shooting the ball pretty well, but, you know, actually quite similarly to us. We've not hit, I don't think we've hit a 3 in the quarter, maybe 1. But the free throws are helping us out here and keeping us in the game. So, look, I think we're very fortunate to not have seen the best of Brunson yet. Mikal's got 10 and he's had some very good moments. But, yeah, I mean, really, the Knicks haven't been all that great. They've had a few moments where they've taken control of the match, but I haven't really felt like they've really even put the foot down. You know, it's funny, the Nets are intentionally tanking, but they're still in a position to make the play-in. Well, they're probably as close to the play-in as they are the 3 seed, or sorry, the number 3 draft pick. So probably goes to show how tight the competition is. I mean, granted, there's some clear front runners, but in the middle portion, especially in the Western Conference, I mean, there's a lot of parity amongst the league, and that's a really good sign. Really good sign. Alrighty. So 5-point game. The Knicks have gotten out to, well, first a 10-point lead in the first quarter and a 13-point lead in the second, but both times the Nets have responded with good runs. And Day'Ron Sharpe has been on the court for both of them. If this guy doesn't close the game out, like, show some merit. You got to show some merit. Like, with your selection, you've got to show merit. I mean, Day'Ron has deserved the minutes tonight. Claxton, bro, that guy knows what a tank is, because he's playing like he doesn't give a shit. Bridges out of Brunson, he's guarded by Keon Johnson. The Nets of Russell, Johnson, Wilson, Sharpe, and Clowney, the 5 on the floor. Brunson is blitzed by 2. Bridges needs to look for the open man. It's Josh Hart, who will drive in and falling away for 2. Doesn't get the angle, and Achua knocks it out of bounds. So the Nets can get this deficit down even further. It'll be a single possession if they make a bucket on this trip. Russell, Clowney, pump fake, had the defender in the air. It's an open look. It's a third air ball. 3 of them. Bridges the lob, and he is not that tall. Despite having Mr. Fantastic Arms, that lob was for a 10-footer, not quite for a 6.5-footer. So the Knicks with another scoring drought at the back end of the quarter, basically. Russell. Oh my God, Dayron. You absolute spud. It's like you wanted to sit this one out because now Claxton is ready to check in, and that stoppage right there, because of you, is going to mean you're resigned to the bench. And it probably means we're going to be resigned to a 15-point deficit at the half because Claxton hasn't played anything like an NBA player in this first half. He's been very disappointing. So Brunson, guarded by Wilson. Screen set. The blitz happens again. Numbers have to roll over. We have to look for the backdoor cut or watch the backdoor cut. We didn't do a good job. And Anunoby completed the play and got the lead back out to 7. Russell, the drive in. Wants the foul and he's going to get it. He's playing like Jalen Brunson. That is a very Brunson-esque move. Russell has had a very good second quarter. And more free throws here for D'Lo. The Nets are in the bonus. And D'Angelo's been very much responsible for a lot of that. 10 points and the 5 assists. He's probably on track for a 20 and 10 sort of game. Excuse me. Towns back in, which means Claxton's going to get grilled here. I would honestly bring Sharp back in, man. Claxton's been dog shit. Meanwhile, Dayron's been playing like a dog. A junkyard dog. Russell makes both again. So, 5-point contest here for the Nets. Got to close out this first half on a positive. You don't want to be down by 13 in a game where you simply have not deserved to be down 13. Brunson, Bridges is open in the mid-range, and that is usually money, but it's off this time. Clowney gets the board. Russell's going to push the pace. Wilson's the cutter. Brunson tried to take the charge. There was no foul. The Knicks turn it over. Clowney. Across to Wilson. You do not need to rush this. Russell was open for an eternity. He shoots when there's a hand in the face. It's off. And then it's going to trickle out of play, and it will be Nick ball. So the Nets have had opportunities here to trim this deficit some more, but have opted for the safe 3-pointer rather than taking it inside and shooting the 2, which is what has been so successful for them in this first half, as they have drawn fouls. Brunson gets inside. Extra. Towns. The 2. What a fucking surprise that is. I mean, granted, Claxton can't do much about it, but still. Russell. Johnson. Will hand off to Clowney. Claxton. Russell creates separation as he receives the handoff. Clowney ready to fire. And he gets on the board. Finally, after 3 air balls in this first half. That's a welcome sight. And hopefully a sign of things to come. Brunson gets inside. There's the foul. And it was Brunson who was hit on the face, I believe. D'Lo with the swat. And it will be 2 free throws here for Jalen Brunson. That's a good foul, though, because that would have been a regulation 2 in most situations. Brunson has not had a great half by his standards. He's averaging 26 and 7 on the year, but it's been a lot quieter in this match, that's for certain. How is he getting MVP chance when he's made like 3 field goals in the first half and he bricks the free throw? Put your MVP chance away for a minute. Let him cook us in the second half, and then you can say as many MVP chances you'd like. So the Knicks up by 4. The Nets have done well on multiple instances to keep the Knicks at bay. They had 22 points in the first 6 minutes of this quarter. Brunson misses both. It's not very MVP-like. The Knicks, since that point, though, in the last 4 and a bit minutes, have only scored 6 points. Johnson on the wraparound, moving 3. Money! His shot mechanic is unrivaled. The way he squares up is so impressive. And it means he's more reliable often than not. It's a 1-point game. 1:15 to play here in this second quarter. Brunson, trapped. Not for long, though. Shoots with the left, and that was far too easy. There was no closeout on that. It was an uncontested look, and Brunson is way too good to miss those. We're inside the final minute of this opening half. Johnson, again, guarded by Bridges. Keon Johnson ready to shoot. That's a bad miss. And a rebound by Towns. I don't know why the hell he's shooting that. Hart, going to drive down the middle. Claxton nearly got back. But Hart was able to get through and score for 2. Over Martin, who's definitely a little bit less equipped. Nets can go for a 2-for-1 here. But we don't look really that aggressive. Johnson from way back. It's off. And it's off. What? What? 30 seconds left. Are the Nets going to challenge this? Nope. Obviously, they saw something that we didn't. It's a 5-point game. The Nets want to close out this half on a high. They got it to... Well, I think it was all tied up. Brunson 1-on-1. Guarded by Johnson. Gets inside. I reckon he traveled. That's a tough step back too. It's off. Get the fucking rebound. Oh my fucking God, Clax. That is an incredible putback 2 by Towns. But you just have to question yet again, what is this bum doing under the basket, bro? Claxton, you absolute terrorist. My eyes are bleached watching you play. Fucking hell, man. That's another 3-point play out of absolutely nothing. He is fucking killing us, bro. Towns converts the free throw. It's 59-51. They've scored, I think, 6 or 7 in a row. 2 seconds to shoot. 1 second to shoot. Fade away 2. It's an air ball. That is the halftime break. And the Nets trail by 8. They got it to within 2 or 3. I think it was even all tied up at one stage. Was it all tied up at one stage? It was 52-51. And they went on a 7-0 run in the final minute and a half to get an 8-point lead at the break, which is a little bit frustrating. I'm happy it's not double figures, but that being said, man, they had a 4.5-minute patch where they went cold. And then we've given away a 3-point play. I think we conceded another 3-pointer as well. And we wind up conceding 35 points in the quarter. It could have been a lot more after that 22-point 6-minute block. But I think we're just fortunate that it is not larger. An 8-point lead for the Knicks. I'm not actually that cut about this performance in the first half. Look, I tell you what, this is the most staggering part of the game. I look at the 2 centers. Day'Ron Sharpe a plus 12 in a game we're down 8. Claxton is a negative 20. I put you in the play to watch spotlight, Clax, and you've just completely stunk it up. Negative 20. In a half, you're losing by 8. You are a negative 20. Your bench center has played 5 less minutes than you. He is a negative 12. Or sorry, a plus 12, bro. He's got 6 more points than you. He's got the same amount of rebounds. He's got 2 more blocks than you. Dayron should be starting the second half. I don't care what anyone says. Claxton has played like absolute dog water. I mean, Claxton's game is in the sewers right now. It's lower than the sewers. It's even more slums than that. Like, it's so bad. It's actually ridiculous. Fucking hell. It is embarrassing. What a fucking fall off. That is the main bit of information I have to take out of this. There's not even any two ways about it, right? D'Lo has had a great half. 12 points, the 6 dimes. He's been a centerpiece. He's been the focal point of the offense. He's been to the free throw line the most for the Nets. So he's been really good. Cam Johnson, probably the most inefficient performance I've seen from him in a while, and he's a negative 16. Whenever he's on the floor, we've looked like trash. But I think it more has to do with the center rotation. We've been cooked. Karl Anthony Towns, I don't know how many points he has gotten when he's been on Claxton, but I'm willing to bet the house on it that he has scored basically all his points when Claxton is on. Towns has scored 14. He scored 11 in the second quarter, but I don't think he scored a lot of those with Sharp as the direct assignment. And that's where the frustration kicks in. Brunson only the 7 points in a game they've scored 59. Hart's only got the 5. Towns and Bridges, Bridges has had a good half, 10 points, and Anunoby with the 9. He hasn't been as efficient. They haven't been really all that... They haven't been crazy good. They've had the 5 extra shots. Rebounds are the same. It's just really frustrating. The turnovers, there's been a few of those and a little bit frustrating to see those turnovers occur, but I think the real issue right now is Claxton, bro. Claxton I don't even know what to say, man. He is garbage. And I've been a defender for years. There's been games where he was shit last year. But there were more games where you felt like he was actually sort of contributing something. And defensively, at least he was doing something. Today, he's not even doing what he has been good at in the past. Like, there's just no impact on the game whatsoever. Like, Claxton, he doesn't even look like an NBA player right now. He looks like he could fit right in the G League. And I've just seen some stats. I've just caught some stats on Twitter. Nic Claxton, in his 15 minutes, has a negative 70 net rating. The defensive rating is 155. The offensive rating is 86. Sharp on the floor, 124 offensive rating, 70 defensive rating. We are worlds better in both categories. Worlds better. It's like, I may have to do a video on this. I don't do many videos these days. Time is of the essence. But I almost feel compelled out of the sake of, it just being pent up inside of me, all this frustration. I think I need to release it all doing a video and just saying, Claxton has been shit. Shit. To be fair, people wanted this, wanted us to tank. If Claxton wasn't playing, I think we'd be leading this game. And everyone would be like, what are you doing? Sean Marks is a fraud. He doesn't know how to tank. He doesn't know how to do anything right. Mate, to be honest, I think you can say Claxton is shit all you want, but this is we're losing games because of Claxton, and it's funny because we just spent a good chunk of money to invest in him long term. But his value is so low right now. He is awful. It's fucking crazy. Like, it gets to a certain point, right, where I can't defend players. This is one common case because it really conflicts. It really conflicts with what I enjoy watching. I enjoy watching players who have a lot of heart about them, work hard, produce game-winning results, or at least show the willingness and effort to try. Claxton is just, every single play, it feels like he's just contributing negatively. He's in the wrong spots, on rebounds. This is fundamental, simple shit. You are a center. You are the tallest net on the floor. Your job is to rebound. Or at least put your body on the line and sacrifice yourself so someone else can do it. How many fucking offensive rebounds do you want to give Karl Anthony Towns? He's got 8 of them. I reckon he's got 3 offensive rebounds, and I'm willing to bet every single one of them have come on Nic Claxton. How many are there? 2 offensive rebounds. Okay. But it's like the impact. Towns is a plus 17 when they're up 8. Out of the 5 Knicks starters, only one other starter is in the plus, and it's Mikal Bridges, a plus 4. The other 3, Anunoby, Brunson, and Hart, are all in the negative. And we're still down 8. We've had a really good half. It's just, he is dog shit, Claxton. I cannot wrap my head around this. It's just actually jarring to watch him play. Last year, it didn't feel like he was that bad, but in a tanking season, bro, this is your opportunity. You got given the fucking keys. And you are playing like shit. I could go on for ages about this. It's diabolical, man. It's a rough watch, man. For a contrast, Day'Ron Sharpe, right? I don't know what he's done in the lab, but his free throw shooting is impressive because he has, previous couple of seasons has struggled from the free throw line. In his career, 63% from the line. Previous 3 seasons, granted these are on much more limited minutes. He's playing a career high in minutes this season. In those minutes, he ended up shooting at the free throw line. First season, 58%. Second season, 63%. Third season, 61.5% or 61%. This season, 73%. And he's nearly taking a career high in free throw attempts. Simple shit like that is showing improvement. 3-point shooting's a little bit questionable. He's taking a 3 a game and he's shooting at 11.5%. But it's just I don't understand this, right? Day'Ron shooting it at 73%. That is very passable as a center. Claxton, on the other hand, brother, what the hell was he doing in the offseason, bro? He's shooting 52% from the line this year. That's down from his career 54% number. He's never shot better than 58% from the line in a season, man. Where is the improvement, or when is the improvement going to come? It's just ridiculous, man. It's just, you expect elevation this season. You expect him to average 15 a contest because he's getting, you would have thought he was going to be elevated in the hierarchy. You would have thought it. it actually turns out he's probably even lower in the pecking order compared to last season. I mean, last season it was Bridges, Cam Thomas, and maybe Claxton was third. Now I can safely say, like, D'Lo's better, Johnson's better, Thomas is better. Who else have we got? It feels like Ben Simmons is playing better than Claxton this year, and I don't think that's exaggerated. Sharp is playing better. Zaire Williams is definitely having more impact, that's for certain. Like, it's unreal, man. Unbloody real. So, second half. What do I have to say about this? Well, first, let's just have a quick look at the team stats. Free throw numbers, good for the Nets. 11 of 12 from the line, that's good. But the field goal percentage needs to go up. 41% from the field, 33% from three. We're not shooting the three ball particularly well. The Knicks are 48% and 39% from three, so they're doing a much better job. The team stats, though, turnovers, 9 to 5. The Nets probably need to force more. Fast break points very even at 8 apiece. Points in the paint, the Knicks have gotten 4 extra, which I think is a good effort by us to keep that at bay in the first half. It'll be a point of focus to do the same in the second half. The Knicks and the Nets tied for rebounds. I think that's going to be a pretty big part of what's going to occur in the second half as well. Because, yeah, physicality is probably the big thing that I would have said that the Knicks have separation with. And I think we've done well to keep him at bay, and even more so because Claxton has stunken it up. So Clax is just garbage, man. They need to get a center in this draft for sure. They need someone to play with Dayron for the future, because I can already see Claxton getting offloaded. I wouldn't be too mad about it. Like, I think Clax, we were probably right in signing him, but mainly for the purpose of being able to get something in return if we needed to offload him, which is something that I think we need to do precisely at this rate, because he's dog shit, man. Okay. Okay. So second half is probably... yeah, probably about to get underway very shortly. So, second half action about to get underway. The second and third quarters were point of strength for the Nets in the last game against OKC after they were down 20 at quarter time. But today it's been much a different story. They started pretty well, showed resilience on multiple occasions in the first and second quarters, but the minute Claxton walked back out there, yes, he is the scapegoat in this first half, because how on earth you were negative 20 when your team's down 8? That just goes to show how far off you are to your other, like, your counterpart. Oh, sorry, not your counterpart. Well, your counterpart won, but on top of that, your competition for the same position. Anunoby's 3 is good, and well, that's a great start, isn't it? Conceded the last 10 points of the game. With Claxton on the floor, I mean, that's not something he's responsible for that 3. 62-51. Johnson, Russell, good find. Claxton scores the 2. Nice make. So, good work by D'Lo. He has been great on the dimes this season with the Nets. He's averaging, well, we said before, 8 dimes a game with Brooklyn. He is very close to that mark now. Anunoby turns the corner. Trapped. Hart. Guarded by Russell. Towns. Oh, you can't allow the pass, and Claxton does well to knock it away. Russell. No look. Johnson. 3. Too long. Clowney bats it out. Russell. Way behind the line. That's off as well. The board by Bridges. It's out off Bridges. And Claxton takes a seat. He might as well have done that in the first half, but at least he's come out the blocks here, scoring a 2 and has given us a couple of opportunities here with some good defense and, well, keeping the play alive there on that possession. So the Nets will get into a set. It's Johnson on the perimeter. Claxton will get that handoff. 7 to shoot. Nets will look for Johnson. Here he is, who will drive with Hart on the shoulder. Good find. Extra. D'Lo, top of the key, is wide open. It's off. Clowney, the putback jam. And Towns was making a case to say it was still on the rim. It was an interference. But the officials didn't bat an eyelid. Clowney's got 10 points now. It's been a very quiet 10 points. I wouldn't have thought he has hit double figures. Brunson moves through. That's great defense. Forces the kick out to Hart and a good closeout. Bridges gets inside. Misses the 2. Towns with the board. Of course, it's a bucket. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. It's frustrating. Russell. Good kick out. Clowney. Drive in. Good find to Claxton. Nice reverse. So Claxton's lifted his intensity to start the second half, which I guess is a positive. At least makes him not a liability on one end. Brunson is off. You've allowed another fucking tip in. Oh my God, mate. Clax was in the position to get the rebound. He didn't want it. He didn't want it. Another offensive rebound for Towns. Johnson. Cross. ISO 2. It's good. So the Nets keeping the ticking over, but you've got to get the rebounds. Box out. Russell got discarded. Anunoby the kick out. They've got the extra man, and it's Mikal Bridges who misses the 3. Board Johnson. Shovels to Russell. Johnson cuts down the middle. Layup is off. Claxton the putback 2. That's off. Russell will shoot another 2. That's off. Doesn't get the bounce. Claxton misses another offensive rebound, but gets the foul, and it'll be shots. Oh my goodness. I don't know how he's missed that many offensive rebounding opportunities. But he'll get free throws at the line. So Claxton, after a shocking first half, has at least rocked up in the second half looking like an NBA player. It's good to see that we got some version of an NBA play here today. Well, to start the second half. He's already got 6 and 6 now, and he's so he's already matched his rebound total and exceeded his point total from the second half. So he definitely got revved up at the break, but the free throws he's already banked on to make 1 of 2 because he's just missed that first one, as I said what I said. So 66-59. Claxton, I mean, this is one area that he just seemingly is never going to improve in, no matter how many free throws he takes. He's bricked another free throw. So we come up empty despite getting 3 offensive rebounds in one sequence. Frustrating. Brunson the spin. That's good defense by Johnson. Forces another miss. Claxton a good rebound. And he's going to push himself. Take it inside. Euro layup. He's blown it. but he gets it back. Russell, 3 timeouts. Claxton has lifted, and Russell's revving him up as well, because I reckon that was the talk at the half. Every single person in that locker room had to have known that Claxton was fucking throwing. And so it's good to see that there was a bit of fucking awareness to be able to lift your game at halftime, because Claxton now has ended up. That was a little bit fortunate. It went off Brunson's foot as they got the rebound, but he's had a much better start to this second half than he did basically at all in the first half. He's gone from having 2 points and 3 rebounds in the first half to already having, well, he's now got 8 rebounds already, amazingly enough. He's got 6 points, so he's nearly tripled. He's tripled his points, or hasn't tripled his... Yeah, he has tripled his points. He's nearly tripled his rebounding, and he's already got an assist in this, well, second half, something he could not have... Well, he didn't do in the first half, and he's also got a steal to his name. So he's been actually a bit of an everywhere man, and he obviously heard my rev up at the break. I reckon there was something similar to be said in the rooms at the break. D'Lo has been brilliant for us. 15 points, 7 assists in the game. The inefficiency is probably holding him back a little bit. But Cam Johnson as well, the 14 points, is something you love to see. For the Knicks, I mean, 18 to Towns, 11 rebounds. He would have less points if we could just simply rebound the ball. We'd also be leading if that was the case. But we can't always have nice things. Brunson's had the 7. He's been more passive than usual. And Bridges has not scored in the second half. So overall, the Nets are competing. They've had more free throws. The 3-point shooting is nearly identical. And look, the field goal percentage, it's not too far off when you actually crunch the numbers. We've had 3 less makes and we've had an extra shot. So look, I think we'll be right in this game if we can look after the basketball and Claxton actually remains involved in the game, because he was just getting walked over in the first half and I just simply wasn't having a bar of it. So even though I'm halfway across the world, if he could have heard my little rant, well, he must have, because he's looking a lot better. He's looking a lot better in this second half, that's for certain. Even if it just does more for his personal numbers than anything. I think the fact he had 2 points and 3 rebounds, it correlates perfectly with, well, the bearing he had on the game. Like, he just wasn't doing anything to remotely assert himself. And Towns was like, I'm living. Happy days. This is a party. This is a feast. I mean, I'm going to be absolutely... Well, my stomach's going to be full after this with all the food that's on offer. Well, Claxton was food, basically. It was getting eaten up. It was just getting fucking dominated, mate. But in this second half, Claxton has shown up and Towns actually needs to realize that he's actually going to be held a little bit more accountable. I think that's the key thing. Brunson. Guarded by Johnson on the outside after the timeout. 1-on-1, he's going to try Cook. Gets inside. Good defense again. Kick out to Anunoby on the wing. Towns up top. They got 2 to shoot. They're looking a little bit out of place. And Brunson airballs the 3. Good defense, lads. Out of the timeout, they've been forced into a shot clock violation. I think that says a lot about the Nets' intensity changing in this third quarter. Looking a lot more proactive defensively. Russell creates space. That's always going to be short on the 3. Didn't get enough lift. And it went off the toe of the rim. Anunoby, pocket pass. Towns somehow gets the 2 to go. He's just that big. Not much we could do there. We had the numbers. We just didn't have the physicality. 6-point game. Russell upstairs. Claxton the dunk. And Russell with another assist. Claxton has got 8 now. So This is refreshing to actually see Claxton in the contest. And I think the Nets are looking for him a little bit more as well. Bridges forced into a pass. Towns was left alone, and he missed the three. And a rebound for the Nets. They can get it back to a single possession again. Russell, cross. He lost the ball. Bridges with the steal. What? What? Where the fuck was the foul there? Bridges was fouled, apparently. Not really sure what just happened there. So it looks like there's a turnover. D'Lo will have to sit down for Tyrese Martin, God help us. And this is where we're going to look like shit because the Nets aren't remotely capable of lobbing the ball up to Claxton now. Cam Johnson will be the man that we play through. What the fuck? No way! Johnson isn't even looking at the fucking player. Challenge that shit. Challenge that crap. What the fuck was that, bro? I swear there was a push there. Oh, fuck off. That is a joke. Brunson steps back for two over Wilson, and this is where we're going to get killed. No key on Johnson to guard Brunson. He's done a very good job on Brunson, and now we don't have any facilitator on the offensive side, so these are going to be some tough minutes. Claxton looking for the handoff. Here's Clowney on the perimeter. Given a bit of room, but he didn't opt to shoot it. And now it's 7 on the clock. Johnson will use the Claxton screen and drive in. Tries to create space and didn't get the whistle. And the Knicks will run. The Nets have men back. Brunson will look to go early, but he's held up well. Except we didn't see anyone under the basket. And Anunoby got in behind. Back up to an 8-point game. This is going to get out of hand very, very quickly. I can already see it. With this lineup right now, Johnson's been blanketed very well defensively. Martin given a bit of room. He's going to drive on Bridges. Where are you passing it, brother? The Knicks in transition. Bridges blocked. Claxton has a loose handle. You could see from a mile away was going to turn it over. And the Knicks go again. Towns, easy 2. Call a fucking timeout, lads. You're down by 10. The minute Russell went to the bench, we were fucked. Oh my god, another fucking turnover. What a surprise this is. And there's Hart in transition, and we've got another timeout. The Knicks up by a dozen in the blink of an eye. It's no coincidence. The minute Russell went to the bench, turnovers, defense completely fallen off. I mean, that's just a shocking, like, I don't really know what you're expecting there, but really, that just comes down to the shit that you have on the court, really. Don't have a point guard, so really, if we had a competent backup point guard, then maybe things would be a lot different, but I mean, I don't think we really ever stood a chance with Tyrese Martin playing the fucking point guard spot. Okay. So, wow, Claxton and Clowney have 8 offensive rebounds in the third quarter. That's fucked. But look, we've had a better second half, I think. It's just this little run, this little burst. It's unsurprisingly because we just don't have the firepower on the floor right now. Russell's been superb, but the minute you send him to the bench, it's like you couldn't be any further from, any form of facilitation. We just don't have it. Clax is allowing Cat to do too much. I actually think Clax has done a better job in this third quarter of getting a little bit of a hold on him, and asserting himself. But that being said, I mean, these turnovers are just flying in now. I mean, Tyrese Martin's got 3 turnovers, and he's playing the primary point guard position. Like, it's just not going to work. Especially given he's not, like, contributing to open shots at all. It's just he drives in and then realizes he's walked himself into a bit of a muddle and a turnover and an easy transition opportunity. I mean, it's not really rocket science at all. So, after the timeout, I'm interested to see what we got. Okay. Okay. So the Nets down by a dozen. They got it down to about 2 points at one stage in this third quarter, but a quick burst here by the Knicks have it where we're at right now at 12. .446 to play here in the third, though. Nets get into a set. D'Lo's back out on the floor with Sharp out there as well now. D'Lo gets inside. Good find. Martin's got an open 3, and that is money. Instantly, D'Lo comes back into the game, and you've actually got a guy who can make a pass, and it's back down to 9, but the Nets have to get a stop. They need to get themselves back in a good position here. McBride's into the game. Achua's also into the match, and Anunoby tries to shuffle Sharp out of the way, and he does a good job to do so. So back up to 11. D'Angelo gets inside. Turnaround jumper's tough. It's off, and a board by McBride. Sharp got hands to it, but not fortunate enough. And then D'Lo nearly gets a steal. He read the pass to Josh Hart in the corner. That was pretty easy to anticipate. D'Lo's having a really good game, though, for us. He's a talent. Bridges going to inbound to Hart. Now to Brunson. Screen set by Achua. Josh Hart on the perimeter. He's not really been an offensive presence at all. Brunson. Got it by Wilson. Now that switch means Russell picks him up. No look. That's a great find. Martin completely lost his man, but it was a miss. And there's a foul on Josh Hart. That was a nothing foul. I would not call that if I was an official, but such is the modern NBA. So Brunson, another good find, but that 3-pointer not going down. So the Nets can get this back into single figures again. It's Sharp on the outside, who's not shooting threes these days. Wilson gets inside. Kick out to Martin, who's going to fire another one away. That one's off. It's a shocking attempt. Hart gets into the set. Achua, he's got the size, and it's an easy pirouette to the rim. D'Angelo Russell was the man that had that assignment. That was always going to be tough the minute he was switched onto him. Wilson gets inside. Brunson completely discarded, and there is a blocking foul. Going to be 2 shots here, I think. Jalen Wilson. That's probably an offensive foul. Wilson makes the first. I don't know why they haven't challenged that. They would have probably won it. Inside the final 3 minutes here of this third quarter. Wilson's second free throw rattles out. Tosin the offensive board. D'Lo the 3. Got it! It's a 4-point play. Unconventional. but it works, and we're back down to 9 again. D'Lo's got 18 in the contest. I wouldn't be surprised if that is, well, it's definitely a Nets high. I don't think it is a game high. Towns is exceeding that mark. The Knicks drive baseline, dump off. Achua misses the 2, and a good contest by Sharp. The Nets run. Martin. Oh my God, don't put a shot up. He did anyway, and every time I say that, it goes down 80-73. Knicks up by 7. 2 and a bit minutes to play here in the third. Bridges, that's an early take, and that's off, and a board by Martin, 1 and done. The Nets can, well, if they're smart with it, they'll have another crack here. Oh my God, D'Lo, you idiot. D'Lo lost the ball. McBride, layup. That hurts. A 4-point swing potentially. Tosin goes early. Wanted the foul. Didn't get it to go. And didn't get the foul. So Knicks can get it up to 11 or 12. Depending on shot selection. Brunson down the middle. Stops. McBride. Sidestep. D'Lo. Oh, that is... What the fuck is that, bro? Oh my God. D'Lo with a block on the 3, and then an incredible save, and then a bailout for the Knicks. Brunson flopping as per usual. How on earth did he save that? Oh my God. That is the biggest flop I've ever seen, I think. That's impressive by D'Lo, man. He's had a really good game. I don't think words are able to describe. Ball's inbounded. Brunson. Good defense. Towns is back in. Good cut by Achua. And I don't know what the defense was doing. Towns attracted 2. It's back up to 11. So the Nets got it down to 7. Knicks with the last 4. Achua's got 11 in the game. That is the margin of this game right now. D'Lo's got it on the outside. As we approach the final minute of this third quarter, D'Lo is doubled. Sharp, the kick out to Martin. It's an open 3. That's off. Bridges is getting held under the basket, or should I say Wilson, for the Nets. And it is the first foul in the final 2 minutes, I believe. So, a tick under a minute to play. The Nets will have it on the side. Fresh 14 on the reset. Sharp. Russell gets inside, puts one up. Dayron with the play. How has he made that work? The miss was so bad that Dayron was able to escort it up and in. Brunson. Got it by Wilson at the logo. Given a bit of space, Bridges does not shoot the 3. Kept the feet planted. Picks up his dribble and back out to Brunson. He's got 3 to shoot. Taller defender on him. Brunson 3 is short. Rebound by Martin. D'Lo's going to push, but we don't need to. Tosin's going to drive it in. Layup, it's off. And it's going to be net ball. I think Towns had his toe on the sideline, so the Nets will have another go. They pushed it nicely. And I believe, is it going to count as a possession for the Knicks? Because if it does, then they're going to be able to use the full 20 here, the Nets. D'Lo's already got a double-double. That is great work. Sharp receives the inbounds pass, and now D'Lo will hold for 1 with a 3-second difference between shot and game. And the lead at 9. He's guarded by Bridges. Drives, he's blitzed. Pass out to Johnson, who's back in and puts one up. Off one leg, it's off. Wilson is fouled on the putback rebound with 0.7 on the clock. And that's got to hurt if you're a Knicks fan, because they had sealed that off very well. Johnson had to put up a prayer, and Wilson got hacked on that rebound attempt. He had the positioning, so Wilson at the line will shoot a couple. The Nets are out rebounding the Nets by 9. And if you remember, the rebounding was tied at the break. Wilson, man, missing free throws that we need. Cam Johnson, he had a very extended break. So he'll be very, very refreshed for the fourth quarter. The Nets down by 9. And they'll get one more free throw here at the line. Wilson's 0 of 2. Should I say 1 of 3 from the free throw line? He's 1 of 4 now. Well, mate, if you're going to miss your fucking free throws, don't even bother. That's really infuriating because that would have been nice to be down 7 at three-quarter time. Instead, we break even in that third quarter, which is a nice return, I would assume. Actually, we didn't break even. The Knicks somehow scored 1 extra point, but we had a much better defensive quarter, that's for certain. We conceded 25 points, which is very similar to what happened in the first quarter, but the second is the difference right now. So the Nets are going to need to do something special in the fourth quarter and not continue this trend of scoring 1 point less per quarter. They trail by 9, so it's definitely not out of the question. And we saw a much improved Claxton in the second half, which is going to be pretty essential. It's going to be essential that continues if we're to have any hope of winning this game. D'Angelo Russell with 18 and 10 assists in the game. I mean, he's on track for a Dennis Schroeder type scoreline or box score here. Schroeder had a 28.15 assist game this year, so I'd imagine D'Lo is probably going to tread in similar waters. He's actually a +6 in the game. So him and Dayron, those guys have been, those two have been very good as a tandem. Dayron is a +15 in the game, and we're down 9. It's crazy. Tyrese Martin with the 10 as well, which is nice to see. We've got 5 players in double figures. Clowney with the 10, Johnson with the 14, only the 23 minutes for him. And from a Nick perspective, 22 to Towns, and Anunoby got busy in that third quarter, but Bridges did not score. Achua was a nice little spark plug for them, and Brunson still only has the 9 points. Hart is probably on triple-double watch, but the Knicks have found a bit of separation. The Nets have missed a lot of free throws. I mean, Wilson is 1 of 4. Claxton was... he's 0 of 2, and both of those guys had a trip each in that third quarter. So if we were 4 points better off, I reckon we'd be in a very nice place right now heading into the fourth. But look, we're going to probably need to have a hot shooting quarter from 3 in the fourth, I would think. We're only shooting 9 of 27 at the moment, so that is pretty below average. But there is definitely a bit of time for things to change. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets versus Phoenix, which is tomorrow. So make sure to drop in and say hello, because that should be good fun. Potentially to see if the Phoenix Suns decide to tank against us. So 84-75 as we enter the fourth quarter now. And I think the center matchup is going to be big. Let's hear Geordie. So Geordie's basically just said we're dribbling into their hands too much, sort of playing into the fact that they're reaching into the passing lane. So I think that's a smart observation. D'Lo, great find. We've got to dribble less. Basically, Claxton had the opportunity to complete the lob and it's off. So that's going to hurt if we concede up this end now. Payne is on the floor with Bridges, Towns, Achua, and McBride. It seems like that's a go-to bench lineup for them. Bridges, skip pass to McBride in the corner, guarded by Russell. They're going to look for Towns, but Claxton does well. And then a shot clock violation is forced again. That's the second time in this half that has occurred. Good defending there by D'Angelo, Russell, and Claxton. They were looking for Towns, who was on an island with Claxton, but that pass was denied. And so the Nets can redeem themselves after they screwed up the first offensive set of the fourth quarter. Here's D'Lo. Fakes the handoff. He had me fooled. Oh my God. Well done by Tosin. He got a vital hand in there because it went right through Wilson's legs. We got to put one up. 2 to shoot. Claxton's going to put a 3 up and he airballs it. I mean, this guy practices them in training, in shoot around, or not shoot around, but on the practice courts. I don't know how you can miss that badly. 84 to 75. Would have been a bailout of sorts if Claxton hit that one. I think good awareness to line up on the perimeter, especially when the clock was winding down, but doesn't make it any better of an offensive possession. Bridges picks up his dribble. Towns tightly pressed here by Claxton. And the playmaking. Well, Towns was forced into the playmaking. It went right through Anunoby's hands. So 2 turnovers for the Knicks to start the fourth quarter. The Nets have got the opportunity here to make some inroads, but haven't really pounced on that opportunity as of yet. Russell, no look. Tosin, 3. It's off. Board for Payne. I don't know why we're not driving into the lane. Anunoby got it by Wilson. Towns puts the head down. It's an offensive foul. Has to be. No, 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 no. I'm pretty certain Tosin was outside of the lane. And maybe he was inside the lane. He had his foot on the fucking restricted area line. Surely you were... Oh, for fuck's sake. So Towns at the line of shoot 2. That really hurts because, I mean, no scores have yet in the first 2 minutes. We could have gone on a quick little run and gotten ourselves right back in the game, but instead, well, Towns doesn't want a point. He wants to keep things the same way. In terms of a lack of scoring here in this game, or in this fourth quarter. Towns misses the first. 1 more free throw will ensue here. Johnson, Wilson, Russell, Claxton, and Tosin, the 5 on the floor. Towns gets the first point of the fourth quarter between both sides, and Towns is 23 and 12 in the game. It's had a great match. Russell, no look. Wilson, the 3, that's way too long. You could tell from a mile away. And I don't understand why we are shooting 3s like crazy here in this fourth quarter. Plenty of drive opportunities on offer. Bridges lost the ball going up. The Nets have a 4-on-1 break. If you screw this up, it's a joke. And Tosin got absolutely clobbered by Payne. I don't really understand how we weren't able to get a shot up, an adequate shot up with, you know, with a 4-on-1 fast break. There was a lack of spacing on that. Going to be 2 shots here for Tosin. Two shots here for Tosin. And he gets that one a go. So back into single figures. Hearts into the match. Achua will sit down. So all 5 starters back in for the Knicks, except for Brunson, I believe. Payne remains on the floor. One more free throw for Tosin here. And it's good. So 8-point game. Nets have had 8 more free throws than the Knicks. So that's a solid return for them. I think they'd be happy with that output. Trying to deny that pass to Towns. We've done well to force him to get the ball right at the logo. So he's going to have to go to work with 4 on the clock. Claxton guarding. Numbers trap. And it forces a turnover. The Nets can run, but there's no options. Russell wants something, and in the end, he throws it right out of bounds, but Anunoby assisted it there. So everyone was running away from the ball. So 85-77 the score. 9:17 to play in the fourth. There's a lot of time for a lot to happen. Ball's going to be inbounded. Johnson's back in the game. That's Keon Johnson. Cam Johnson sat down. Russell step back three. It's off. Claxton can't get the offensive rebound. Well, he did. The Knicks will get it ahead. Brunson, Anunoby the trailer. He puts one up and he's short on the three. Tosin the board. Wilson. Euro. Russell. Pump fake. Extra. Wilson. Kick out. The Nets looking to be a little bit more patient. Why are we shooting a three from there? Like, I don't understand it. 0 of 6 in the fucking quarter, bro. Like, the opportunity has presented itself, and we're just shooting 3 after 3. Brunson, Euro, block again by D'Lo. 3 on 2. Johnson, the Euro, extra to Tosin, layup, and 1! Let's go. We're going to get some bang for our buck, finally. All these defensive stops have resulted in nothing until now. Brunson picks up the personal. Tosin at the free throw line to shoot a pair. And Wilson will sit down, having put up a fuck ton of threes for no result. So 8:21 to play. The Nets are within 6. And another free throw here will follow. So for his third free throw of the quarter, Tosin makes it. Back down to 5. We have a ball game. 8:20 to play in the match. The Knicks still yet to score a field goal in the quarter. They've turned it over an absolute crap ton to start the fourth. Hence the reason they've had 5 less shots. Brunson. Towns, good cut. Extra man under the basket, and that's too easy. The minute we start blitzing, our rotations are garbage. So, 7-point game yet again. Nets remaining in touch. Here's Cam Johnson. He's going to shoot a 3. That's a tough one. It's off. Hart gets the rebound. Nearly forced into a tie-up with Claxton, who wanted that offensive board, but that was closed off. And now Towns on the outside. We're doing well to defend Brunson off ball. That's an offensive foul! Good boy, Clax. And Clax remained disciplined in that. Towns forced a lockup with Claxton, who had both his hands behind his back, as if to say, mate, Towns is forcing the crap out of that. So, Nets get another stop. 5 Knick turnovers, but we've only hit 1 field goal in the whole quarter and only 5 points to show for the first 4.5 minutes. Here's Johnson, gets inside. He's blocked by Anunoby, who's playing superb defense on CJ. I don't think CJ's been this inefficient in a long time, and it's not because he's shooting bad shots. The defense has been very good. 1 of 9 from the field in the quarter, the Nets. 87-80. Are we challenging this? I think there's a challenge in there. I don't know. 87-80. This has been an absolute slog in this fourth quarter. I mean, we've only seen 5 points to 3. Now, any other team would have been able to capitalize on this with a 12-2 run, but the Nets, despite forcing 5 Knick turnovers in the first 4.5 minutes, they have gone 1 of 9 from the field. So that is a real issue. A real issue. And so we are in a position now where we basically, well, I mean, we need to start making shots and actually getting bang for our buck. But sooner rather than later, the Knicks are going to make a few shots. Okay. So it's definitely been, well, a lot better of a half from Nic Claxton. He's still got the 8 points and the 9 rebounds, though. There hasn't been too much that has changed from his third quarter stat line. D'Lo is shooting the ball not that great. 18 points in the 10 dimes. The 10 dimes are big, though. A plus 10 in a game you're down 7. Cam Johnson's got the 14. Martin scored 10 off the bench. Sharp scored 10 off the bench. Clowney has scored 10 as well. And Wilson's been a bit of a terrorist from 3. Turnovers are piled up. The Knicks, though, have found it very tough in this fourth quarter to score the ball, mainly because they've turned the ball over a crap ton, but the Nets have not capitalized really at all. And the Nets now have more shots than the Knicks. The problem is they've made 7 less. So the Nets are challenging this. Oh. What the hell is this? Challenging the outer bounds. Is that the Knicks challenging this? I don't know if they're going to win that. I didn't really pay much attention to the replay. I thought it was just a given. How the fuck is that successful? That's a tough break. I don't know. Johnson says he was fouled. Well, he's complaining. He said he was fouled. And instead, the Knicks are going to wind up with the fucking basketball. So such is our luck. He was holding fucking Johnson on the arm. What? All right, so 7:16 to play in this fourth quarter. Lead at 7. All right. So the Knicks will get into a set after this coach's challenge was won by the Knicks. They won the out of bounds call. It went off Cam Johnson after he had his shot blocked. Brunson picks up his dribble. Johnson defending superbly. 5 to shoot. Hart to McBride or Towns. It's going to have to be a rush 2, and it is off. It sat on the rim for a long time, but the Nets with another great defensive stop. Keon Johnson is having a blinder defensively on Brunson. Claxton looking for the handoff. It'll be Johnson who collects. The drive in, the kick out, Martin the 3 in the corner. Yes, sir! Down to 4. So the Knicks up by 4. It's tightening up, though. The Nets get another stop. It makes things very interesting. Brunson on the outside, guarded by Cam Johnson this time. It's good defense. He's blanketed again. It's another miss. The Nets get in behind. Johnson the dunk. In transition, we've got a timeout. The Nets are here to play. Defense leading to offense. Jalen Brunson has had no interest in scoring the ball today. I mean, he's played pretty poorly. But I think something has to be said for whoever's been defending Jalen Brunson. I tell you what, Brunson, should I say Keon Johnson and the other Johnson, Cam, on the last 2 possessions, very commendable defensive efforts. Very commendable, because they've just clamped Brunson. He's picked up his dribble. That typical turnaround jumper that he usually converts, is able to create separation for. It just hasn't been on, because we've been right in his grill, and it has meant that he's had to pass it off, and it's completely hindered the flow of the offense for the Knicks. So, look, I'm interested to see how this game ends up, really. Bridges has not scored in the quarter or the half. Achua has not been on the court for this quarter. And Towns has been out there, but he's not really been on the court when they've benefited. I mean, this has been a superb 4th quarter by this group. And we haven't had D'Lo or Day'Ron Sharpe on the floor for most of it. So the defensive stops, Keon Johnson has been brilliant. As I've said, I've been banging his drum for basically this whole game. And Tyrese Martin, he's hit a couple threes. He's actually shooting much more efficiently than I would have thought, even though the turnovers have come in a little bit too regularly. This is going to be a close ending. And look, I'm here for it. These are the games that I want to see. I don't really care if we win or lose, but I'm here for the fight. I'm here for the fight. If we lose, I won't be mad. If we win, I won't be mad either, because it's the Knicks, man. I mean, I'm here for the meltdown if we cause an upset. So 87-85 the score. The Knicks hanging on to a narrow lead, and I think the real key bit of information here is the fact that the Knicks have scored 3 points in the entire quarter. 3. So while the Nets have only managed only 10 points to show in 6 minutes. I'll tell you what, 3 points to the opposition in 6 minutes. You'd love to have seen the Nets capitalize a little bit more with those turnovers they've forced, and, put up 15 or 17 points, something like that, so they have a lead to work with in the final 6 minutes. I do feel as if this is a very good position to be in, though, because you've got everything to gain and nothing to lose, really. But I'm really happy with how we've rocked up in the second half. We trailed by 8. We've held the Knicks to 28 points in 18 minutes of basketball. So, definitely a really good showing in this 4th quarter. Still work to do. 6 minutes to play. A lot of basketball to be had. The Knicks can go out and score 20 in the next 6 minutes. We saw that in the 3rd quarter. Towns gonna get it in the corner. The kick out to Brunson, guarded by Johnson. Towns will get it back at the elbow. He's guarded by Claxton. The numbers collapse. That's a tough shot. It's off the board by Johnson. Push. Go. Martin's got an open look. We're not going to do that. We play a little bit more passive, and we're going to work in the half-court set. A switch. Johnson now guarded by Brunson on 4 personals. The switch. Johnson the spin. Picks up his dribble. Johnson for the lead. Yes! Here we go. The Nets on a run. The Knicks need a response here. A bucket is required. They have been in a rut for a long time. Johnson guarding Brunson. It's more good defense. Another short 2. Towns with the board. Short on the 2. The board by Claxton. Get it across half court. Go. Move it. Move it. The Knicks have led by as much as 13. The Nets have not led by more than 2. Johnson receives the handoff. Oh my God. Step back 3 is off. We get the long rebound. We don't need to be stupid. There's 4.5 to play. Claxton puts the head down. Body bump. He lost the ball. And the Knicks get the turnover. Brunson the trailer. No look to Hart. He's scared to shoot the ball. Anunoby's got an open 3. It's off. Board by Claxton. The Knicks have still only scored 3 points in the 4th quarter. Goodness gracious me. I don't think you can play worse of a fourth quarter than this. Whew. 3 points in nearly 8 minutes of action in the fourth. If they win this, I mean, it's like that game we played against Milwaukee a few weeks back where we didn't score for 8 minutes and still won the game because we were up 20. Goodness me. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We're back here tomorrow for Nets Phoenix. The Nets have really knuckled down in this fourth quarter, man. Defense, they've forced turnovers, they've forced tough shots, and now it's gotten to the point where the Knicks are just missing shots that they would usually make. So, I mean, the Nets have only scored the 13 points in nearly 8 minutes, which is not a great rate. They're not on pace for any more than 25 points, but what they have done is they've put the clamps on, and the Knicks, their shooting percentage has dropped off the face of the earth, and their turnovers have elevated 88 to 87 the scoreline. Alrighty. 4:12 to play in this fourth quarter. The Nets have not won against New York since 2023. Brunson has 9 points in the game. And I know all too well from watching many Nets-Knicks games that because he's got 9 points now, it does not matter in the slightest because he can catch fire. Russell's back in regenerated. The Nets are closing with Tosin on the floor. The Nets need to limit turnovers. That's the key thing. Russell. Drive in. Guarded by Anunoby. Tosin. Tightly contested by Hart. He's got to put one up. Put one up! Oh my god. It's an offensive foul. So that was a shocking possession out of the timeout. Josh Hart playing brilliantly. Keeping grounded, low to the floor, balanced, and an immovable object. 3:50 to play. Tyrese Martin's in the game. I don't know who we just benched. Who did we just bench? D'Lo's just gone off. So Keon Johnson in for defensive purposes. Anunoby lost Johnson. It's out off Cam Johnson, who read the cut beautifully. 10 to shoot. 3:37 left in the game. It's the Knicks who need to get something working. Brunson, extra. Anunoby lost the ball. Got it back. Missed the two. Claxton the board. Go, lads. Come on. Johnson. Oh, my God. We've got a timeout. I thought that was an offensive foul. The timeout was called or the whistle was blown immediately as that screen was set. 3:23 to play. The Knicks have gone another minute without scoring a bucket. 3 whole points. They've scored 3 whole points in the second... not in the second half. The fucking fourth quarter. I can't believe this. 3 whole points. 3. The New York Knicks. Oh, if they lose this game, they're not going to hear the end of it from Net supporters. This is a fucking embarrassment. I don't know what their field goal percentage is in the quarter, but it's like a lid has been slammed shut on that rim. You can't get that off. I mean, for context, let's just have a look at the percentages now. We're 31 of 81, which is not good, but the Knicks are 35 of 81. It's almost a parallel. The Nets have hit 3 more threes. They've had 6 more free throws made. It just makes you think, if we had have hit those free throws at the end of the third, how important those would have been. But Towns hasn't scored in an eternity. Bridges hasn't scored in an eternity. Hart and Brunson haven't scored in an eternity. This I could not have anticipated in the fourth quarter. I knew we were probably going to stink it up. All we needed was 25 points. We've limped to 13 points in this fourth quarter. D'Lo's back in for offense. 3:23 to play. This is unreal. I cannot believe that they've scored 3 points in 9 minutes of basketball, bro. Russell on the outside. Guarded by Bridges. Wrap around for Johnson. The pass was errant. Fuck. Turnovers killing us, man. That was not a pass that we needed to take. Brunson. Good defense here. That's going to be a 2. And finally, they score one to retake the lead. It was always going to happen with that mismatch. But man, we've got to stop with these turnovers. The Knicks have turned it up a notch with their defense. It'll be impressive if the Nets can actually get buckets. Because, yeah, the Knicks are tightly guarding. D'Lo moves through. Shifty. That's a foul. And it's Towns who swatted the arms. That's crafty. Brunson was... well, he lost him. He was always trailing, and so Towns was the last line of defense. D'Lo will head to the free throw line to shoot a pair. There's not a lot there, actually, but the Knicks not willing to challenge. D'Lo at the line to shoot a couple. And he converts under pressure to tie the game at 89 with 2:35 to play in this fourth quarter. This is sort of crazy that we're in a tight tussle with the Knicks. Here's Russell. The second one's good. The Nets retake the lead up 1. So the Knicks must score to retake the lead. It's Brunson guarded by Keon Johnson. Well defended on the perimeter. Looking for Towns. Brunson gets it back. Shoots over Claxton and hits on the baseline. And Brunson, who has not scored in a long time, has now. So it's back to a 1-point lead for the Knicks. You feel like they've turned a corner. Claxton takes it in. Body bump. It's a shocking layup. And that's what happens when you have no size. Brunson, layup is good. And Geordie's going to hold the arms out. Brunson is limping. Go! Oh my God. Brunson was limping and we went so slow. These ISO possessions are not going to work. Johnson, the cross. He drives on Anunoby, the scoop. There's another whistle. And there's more free throws. So the Nets will get another crack at the line to reduce this deficit. Brunson, let's have a look. I think on the landing, his knee must have buckled a little bit. So Brunson is definitely going to play this one out because it's a 1-possession game, but I'll tell you what, played another 40 minutes or something like that. Johnson at the line makes 1. Nets need to make their free throws if they want to remain in this contest. 93-91 the score. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets versus Phoenix tomorrow. It's Johnson at the line for 1 more. It goes in, and it's back to 1. 1:41 a play, 100 seconds left in the contest. Brunson guarded by Keon Johnson, as it has been all day long. I'd say Johnson's got the better of him, but Brunson can change the narrative. He drives in, steps back. It's a tough 2. It's good. He's doubled his points total in about 2 minutes. He was a complete nobody for most of the game. Russell, he's going to shoot a 3. I can already see it. This is good on-ball pressure by the Knicks. 6 to shoot. Russell's going to put one up. It's off. And the rebound is secured by Brunson. Russell wanted a whistle. I don't know why he's shooting that 3. Nick's going to go early. Anunoby! There's the dunk. And there's the 2-possession game. The coveted 2-possession game. It's actually criminal that the Knicks have scored 13 points in the fourth quarter and are probably going to get up. So fortunate they are playing a team that's supposed to tank. Oh, goodness gracious me. They are, like, Brunson has come up clutch for them late, because I'll tell you what, if, like, he's made a couple difficult shots. He's overcome the tough shooting night that he had he had. He was 4 of 14, and he is now 7 of 17. He's hit his last 3 shots. So he's doubled his points tally. And look, they're only getting outscored by 4 now in the quarter, which is sort of nuts, because they, as we said, had 3 points in about 9 minutes of play. So really, the Nets are their own enemy. They didn't capitalize when the window of opportunity was there. But it has been a good game regardless. I've enjoyed watching it. I've enjoyed watching us remain within touch of potentially winning this game, the most unlikely of results. Alrighty. I don't know why we've just completely gone away from what, like, it's just been tough going, basically, this whole fourth quarter. Like, I just don't understand why this continuously happens where, like, late in games, we just go into ISO ball. It's not necessary. Let's see what the Nets have got out of this timeout. Defensive intensity is high by the Knicks, so there won't be an open look. Except there, and D'Lo hits it. And so that is the bucket we needed, and it took barely any time off the clock. So the Nets can play straight up. Don't foul. They got to get it across the line. And they do just in the nick of time. Russell is face guarding Brunson. It's good defense. Oh! D'Lo did well to knock it away right in that corner. The Knicks will have it, but they've got 9 to do the work. 37 seconds remaining. This is a big, big possession. Brunson will trigger the inbounds. We've got a timeout. So the Knicks have 2 timeouts remaining. They thought they'd use one up now because there's no, like, you're not going to transfer those timeouts to your next game. Unfortunately, they're not saved. So we're going to have to wait just a little bit longer to see what occurs. Alrighty. So it is a 2-point game. The Nets have scored in this quarter 20 points. The Knicks 13 in the contest. Now, the Nets could do something really funny here and score a bucket, but we're in a really awkward position because the Knicks can execute this 2-for-1. If they score the bucket, we're basically cooked. But I tell you what, we're even more, like, we're positioned to feel even more disappointment if they miss. Because if they miss, we go up the other end and hit a bucket. It sets the stage for a game winner. And I don't really want the Knicks to hit another game winner. They've already done that before. They've done that once this season. So 97-95. The Knicks have the ball. They've got 9 seconds to work with it. 36 seconds left in the game. They'll obviously want the best shot available, but look, I don't imagine they're going to use the entirety of those 9 seconds. Brunson's hit his last 3 shots, so I imagine Brunson is the man they look to get it to here. Nets running a lineup with Cam Johnson, Claxton, Tyrese Martin, Tosin, and Keon Johnson's guarding the inbounder. Here we go. Got to get it in. They do just in the nick of time. Brunson down the middle. Left hand. He missed it. He missed it. The 2-for-1 scenario was executed, but they didn't score. So the Nets can take the lead. And the Nets are going to call a timeout. with 23 seconds left. They've got 16 seconds on the clock. The Nets are going to use their final timeout. I don't know if that was necessary, but look, if we score this basket, the Knicks are going to probably look to, well, they'd need to get a shot up in enough time, or that gives them enough time to get an offensive rebound if they miss on the first bite. But here we bloody go. Here we go. 97-95. It is game on. I don't know if we're going to go with the 2 or the 3. I think we're going to go for the win. I can already see a D'Lo 3. D'Lo 3 or a Cam Johnson set play out of the timeout. I imagine Anunoby's going to get that assignment because he has had that assignment all day and he's had a very good performance. And then, well, the Knicks have a timeout, so they're going to need to, well, they'll call that if we score. This is the all or nothing, though, for us. Look, if we miss and we foul quickly, then, of course, the Knicks will, well, the Knicks will have to bank on them missing 1 of 2. But I don't know if the Nets are going to use their full time allotment. They've got 16 seconds to shoot, 23 seconds left in the game. If we miss and we foul, we're probably going to want to play the long game, especially given we have no timeouts left. So I'd imagine we're probably going to operate very quickly. It's an interesting situation to be placed in. Achua's back in for defense. McBride's also out there. So they've got Anunoby, Hart, Bridges, McBride, and Achua. The Nets have got Cam Johnson, D'Angelo Russell, Claxton, Tosin, and Keon Johnson. Here we go. Get it in. Claxton. D'Lo's got the ball. He's guarded by Achua in a switch. Johnson! 3! Oh! It's off! Hart soared in out of nowhere, and they've just called a timeout in the nick of time. That was such a good look. He'd hit those 9 times out of 10. Oh. That was a wide open 3. Achua lost him. Oh. And Josh Hart with a huge rebound. Just as he was about to step out of play, they called a timeout. And they're lucky they had one of those. But the problem is, if we clamp them, oh, that was so close. If we clamp them, we could force a 5-second call. That is a potential alternate scenario, but the Knicks are in the box seat now. They just got to get the ball inbound and make their free throws, and they got to find the right free throw shooter that they want to take these. Geordie, very, very vocal. The Knicks looking a lot more composed in their camp. There's a long time to go, though. 12 seconds. We got an open look pretty early, which is good. We got an early look, which is good in the sense that, like, it was a good shot and we missed it early. So we can play the long game. The Knicks and the Nets don't have a timeout remaining. So 5-second call possible, but we've also got to foul very, very quickly if that steal isn't taken. You've also got to be 100% like disciplined to ensure that you don't foul the person before the ball gets inbounded. Johnson's going to face guard the pack. They get in the backcourt. Run. Get there. Get there. What are you fucking doing? Foul him. That took way too long. So 9 seconds remaining. We've got no timeouts. We had a foul to give. You've got to foul quick. We had a foul to give. So the Knicks are going to do this all over again. The Knicks have it in the backcourt now. Bridges doing the inbounding. They're going to look for Brunson. Oh my God, that was too easy. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. So Brunson at the line, that's the last guy you wanted to shoot free throws. But can he crumble under pressure? Let's have a look. Was the foul there? Oh, fuck off. That is so soft, but it's always going to be called. Seven seconds to play. Brunson's got to make both. If he makes both, it's basically curtains. If he misses one of two, it's going to be interesting. He makes the first, never in doubt. You have now got to get the rebound. If they miss, if they make, well, then obviously it's curtains, and I'm not too fussed. Towns will sit down. Interesting choice. Because now you've got a bit less of a rebounding effort here. One more free throw. Brunson's got to make it. Russell's also got to turn around. Here we go. Second is good. Okay, well, that'll do it. Unless something ridiculous happens. It's got to be a 4-point play. Pull up for three. It's off. And that'll do it. The Knicks get out of the woods. And that was, well, I don't know how that's occurred. Johnson had a chance to give the Nets the lead. However, that was not to be the case. The Knicks only scored in that fourth quarter a measly 15 points and still won the game. Purely because the Nets just don't have, well, they scored 20 points in the fourth quarter. Anything, well, basically any score like the first three quarters would have had them at the bare minimum going into overtime. However, that huge defensive effort that they had earlier in the quarter, they let that go to waste. And despite those turnovers, the Nets kept missing. Shot selection was questionable, and it results in a 4-point loss. So that is, I mean, it's not a tough pill to swallow, but it's just like a little bit of a pain in the ass because they got away with it, the Knicks. They got away with it. They played so poorly in that fourth quarter, and Brunson really carried them in that, well, late game stretch. I think he scored 9 or 10 points, and that's 2/3 of their effort. So overall, we lose by 4, but that's a good performance by the Nets, I think. Defensively, very impressive. In the second half, Claxton, he led by example. That's what we need to see from him more often. Even though he blew a layup late in the game, I think he had a much better second half than the first half. He actually made himself present because in the first half he was missing. We had 5 players in double figures. D'Lo, the high man, with 23 and 10 assists. 3 blocks and a steal. He had an excellent game. The efficiency leaving a bit on the table, but he was very good for the most part. The Nets turned the ball over a little bit too much down the stretch as well. Johnson ended with 16, but I reckon his most inefficient performance of the year. And overall, the Nets as a team didn't shoot it too great either. The Knicks ended up making 8 more shots, despite, you know, giving away 4 more threes and allowing us to get to the free throw line for basically double the amount of shots. The turnovers and the fact that they shot it just that little bit better, especially in the first half, that was the difference. The Nets did outscore the Knicks in the second half, however, not by enough to ensure that they made up the entire deficit they were facing at the half. Brunson was big in the fourth quarter. He only had 7 points in the first 44 minutes and then clutched up with 10 late in the game. And Anunoby with 20, Towns at 25 and 16. He was huge in the first half, 3 quarters. And Mikal Bridges started well, but then went missing in the second half. And, well, the Nets nearly capitalized on the opportunity. We got a good 13 out of Martin off the bench. Sharp had a good 10-point game as well. He was a plus 15 in a game we lost by 4. So that tells you everything you need to know about where the center minutes were at. And Claxton was playing for the other team in the first half, but did well in the second half to reel it in a little bit and actually gave it a red hot crack. I'm pretty happy with that performance, even though we ended up losing the game. We didn't shoot it too well, but the defense was huge in that second half, more specifically the fourth quarter. The Knicks end up scoring 56 points to 36 in the paint. Now, at halftime, we were down 4 in that category. And I was like, well, that's going to be a key part of the way this game plays out because physicality was their advantage going in. And so for them to end a plus 18 probably tells me that we didn't attack the paint enough in that second half. Fast break points, very even. Points off turnovers, we didn't nearly get enough points from. Points off turnovers, the Knicks capitalized there, and we probably should have looked after the ball a lot better. The rebounding effort was good, but it sort of changed and shifted a little bit as the game wore on later into the match. But overall, I think a lot of the things that I'm usually a little bit critical about because we don't deliver, when it comes to fast break points in the paint, I think today was a lot more of a valiant effort. The effort was definitely there. It's just we probably let ourselves down, especially in that second quarter, that late second quarter run. Those runs have happened way too many times this year, and they kill us. So, look, I'm pretty happy with the performance in the end. Obviously, if you score 95 points, you probably should have done a little bit better, especially when you see the kind of defense we were playing for that first portion of the fourth quarter. Definitely should have probably won this one. So, look, shit happens, but it was a good game. I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed us being actually in the match for most of it because there's been way too many 25-point blowouts in recent times. But we'll be back here tomorrow for Nets Suns, so make sure to drop in to that stream. Say hello. I will be here from 15 minutes beforehand as per usual. But until then, have a great rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for the support in the chat messages. We will see you in 24 hours. That'll do it. See you guys. Have a good one.